And Senator Cotton, by the way, from the great state of Arkansas, he has been raising that alarm since day one, vowing to hold China accountable and expose the dangers of a weak on China policy like we have seen from Joe Biden. Remember, he took zero experience Hunter. 10 days later, Hunter had more deals with zero experience. Take a look.
China is the greatest threat to America's security and our values. Career politician Joe Biden is weak on China.
China is going to eat our lunch? Come on, man. They're not bad folks. But guess what? They're not a competition for us.
When Joe Biden was vice president, his son got a sweetheart $1.5 billion deal from the Bank of China. When Joe Biden was senator, he voted to give China special trade status that devastated American workers. Biden is weak on China and wrong for America.
By the way, it's now more relevant than ever for us to question zero experience Hunter Biden's connection to China, thanks to quid pro quo Joe, his dad, and his dad traveling to China and he aboard Air Force Two. Now, by the way, as it relates to President Trump, the president signed that new trade deal. He's the one that's been calling the alarm about China. He literally negotiated from a position of strength, and he imposed tariffs, and he got $220 billion, a 2-year deal with China. Nobody else had ever gotten that. He's the one that talked about intellectual property theft. He's the one that was talking about the one-sided trade deals. Nobody ever questioned China about their unfair trade behavior. $220 billion, 2 years to help farmers, our car industry, our manufacturing industry, our energy sector, our service sector. Here's the reaction, Republican Tom Cotton. Well, it's pretty clear Air Force Two and zero experience Hunter is on board. Go to China to go meet the Chinese. 10 days later, $1.5 billion deal with the Bank of China. I can't see any experience with Hunter in that field, as we saw no experience with oil, gas, energy, or Ukraine. Senator, I'd like to know the answer to that.
Yeah, Sean, he's like the international man of mystery. He's a master of Ukrainian oil and gas, and I guess Chinese private equity as well. But in light of how China has unleashed this plague on the entire world through their dishonesty and their lack of transparency and corruption, it's even more urgent that we examine Joe Biden's decade-long record of being wrong on China. This is not ancient history either. Just last year, Joe Biden said that the Chinese Communist Party is full of good folks and they're not a competitor to the United States. Last month, whenever President Trump shut down travel from China, which is the single most important step our government has taken to arresting the spread of the Chinese coronavirus here, Joe Biden called it xenophobic. Joe Biden cannot be trusted to protect this country from the Chinese Communist Party.
How is it possible that somebody could be so wrong, and how is it possible that the media was so worked up about Ukraine and quid and pros and quos, and there you got Joe on tape bragging, you're not getting $1 billion unless you fire the prosecutor that is paying my zero experience son millions. You got 6 hours. How is it possible 10 days after zero experience Hunter is on Air Force Two, $1.5 billion Bank of China? How does that happen, Senator? I don't know. Things like that have never happened to me in my life. I've actually worked hard for everything in life, and I've been lucky, and God has blessed me beyond anything I deserve.
Yes, Sean, it is very fishy circumstances indeed, and that's why it's important that if the Democrats nominate Joe Biden as their presidential candidate, we examine all those ties to China that his son Hunter has, and frankly that we examine some of the other shady dealings that his family has, like his brother as well. What's important right now in the middle of this pandemic that China unleashed on the world is that we understand that
Why are they getting away? I'm sorry to interrupt you. I'm a little ticked off. Why are they getting away with lying to the world the way they did? And if they would have told us the truth, we all could have had all hands on deck to help.
Well, Sean, if I have anything to do with it, they're not going to get away with it. They had their first confirmed cases in early December. They didn't report to the World Health Organization until late December. And then, as you said, they silenced whistleblowers. One doctor who tried to blow the whistle later got this virus, died, leaving behind a pregnant wife and a small child. They shut down the laboratory that provided the genomic sequence to the world. They are not going to get away with infecting the world with this Chinese coronavirus.
All right, Senator, thanks for all your work.